Guru Nation, listen, we're at SOS. First of all, we had to leave might be the best panel of the day. Like, it was getting
fun.
spicy up in there.
Intense.
I'm actually nervous. Like, what's the feedback going to be?
Yeah.
I left. I got money, though.
That's
I
a score.
left a panel. Have you ever left a panel with more money than you went in with?
No.
Now I could check that off my to-do list. And I told you guys sit in the front.
You did.
I'm not even supposed to give hints. Chris, like, don't tell anybody.
I was like, is there going to be like a water gun? Is Dan going to like mess with us?
I told you guys sit in the splash zone. They could have walked out with some money, $30. They paid for my hat.
I love it.
So introduce yourself. We've had you on before. It was a classic.
Yeah.
Now
it was
we
so
can do
much
it.
fun.
Nice to meet you guys in person too.
Yeah.
No, it's been great.
It's good husband and wife team. Like a lot of this small site stuff is family. Like we've had brother and sister. I've interviewed yesterday, mom and son. Like it's crazy. And now husband and wife.
Yeah.
We have Monica and Ro. Same thing. Husband and
Yeah.
wife. Have you met them?
Mm-mm. Monica?
I introduced you to Monica and Ro after.
Yeah.
But I'm Maya Pudi. I own 2 sites. One is in Texas, one's in Nevada, Sherman Clinical Research and Sierra Clinical Research. And then I'm co-founder with my husband Saurabh of Curie AI. And you've never been on Dan's podcast.
Yeah.
Never? What?
Yeah.
Serious?
I don't think so.
We've done a lot of Zooms.
Yeah, we've met a lot.
Wow.
Saurabh Dillon, first and foremost, Maya's husband.
Hey, that's a good answer, man.
Yeah, CEO.
That's brownie points, right?
Yeah, exactly. CEO of Curie AI. We are a 4-site, by-site AI partner for sites. Started off building tools for our own sites. A lot of trial and error, left some stuff on the floor. The things that worked and moved the needles we made available for other sites. And as we talked to more sites and SMOs, they all had different needs and things that they asked. And so we would do custom projects and apps and then made them those projects that we did with them available for other sites as well. So we've got quite a big portfolio and tool set of different products for sites, and we just like to talk to them and see how we can help. Just kind of a
And the
partner
cool, it's
and,
like
yeah.
a dream team because, like, I don't know if you guys planned it this way, but it's probably serendipity. But, like, there's tech. Yesterday, were you here yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh. On my panel on AI, were you there?
Yeah.
Oh. There's this guy that said, like, AI is like an organism. And, like, it's just, we call it this now, but it's, like, just going to be everything.
Yeah.
And, like, that's your specialty. I know we've been talking a lot, like, about ideas and, like, all those tech companies try to use a site as a playground to get a proof of
Yeah.
concept.
You're right. Like, I came home and I complained, and I was like, it took me 3 hours today to read 4 charts, and none of those patients are eligible for my COPD study. And he's like, okay, weird. Like, that's a waste of your time.
That is a
And
massive waste.
looking at, like, the applications I'm using and feeling like I can't use anything that the sponsor's not providing. You know, as a business owner, sometimes you're frugal and kind of get stuck in a mindset. So he made me question a lot, which is good, and showed me options and other ways of doing things. So yeah,
So you basically complain, these are my
I
problems,
complain.
just like we do here,
yeah.
and except you have the solution at the house.
Yeah, the solution was readily available, and yeah, I'm lucky.
But, like, what made you jump in? Because, like, to an outsider, it looks like, oh, okay, why don't they just fix it, right?
Yeah, and so I was actually surprised with looking at her like tech stack of, you know, CTMS providers and the EDC and, you know, all EREG, all of this stuff. I was kind of shocked with how they were laid out and, you know, what was available to them. My background is I'm a tech entrepreneur. I had before LLMs, I had like an AI business that put sensors on machines and would listen to the vibration and try to recognize patterns and predict when they would break down. When LLMs came out, obviously you think, oh, what can you do with these guys? And
that was, like, how early were you, just so people know?
Yeah, I mean, we started Curie 2 years ago. So, you know, and, you know, I was
23.
friends with some of the OpenAI guys. So got some early access to some of the models and started playing around. And again, I think AI is a technology. It's not a solution, right? So for me, it's like, yeah, that's going to be a commodity. That's okay. But I've got Maya here that is essentially the subject expert of where can you provide value at the site level. So let's wrap this model, this technology, into some really intuitive, user-friendly flows that, you know, a CRC or some, a site director, site manager, whoever can use and get value, speed up make their life easier, not replace them, make their life easier, faster,
Yeah.
etc. So
I'm starting to see the more people I talk to that it's not gonna be replacing the
yeah,
coordinator. It's kind of like electricity. I kind of came to this yesterday. Like, it's kind of like electricity when it came out. Like, imagine if we had research sites back then when electricity, like we used kerosene, and then you wouldn't say like, I mean, how ridiculous would it be to say my site uses electricity?
yeah,
You know, and like AI's. I mean, yeah, that's gonna power everything, but that requires wiring your house. You know, that requires light bulb. That requires all kinds of applications and uses for
yeah.
it. And I think it's something similar. Like 50 years from now, we're gonna look back, watch this video, and be like, "That was sounded stupid." Like,
Yeah, and it'll be like everyone is using AI, and you may not even know that it's AI, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
right now we position ourselves as an AI business because we're going to ride the buzz
And
of
'cause
it.
everyone wants that,
Everyone wants to
yeah,
hear that.
yeah.
But to be honest, there is a lot of skepticism. Is it accurate? Is it secure? Is it all of
Does it
these things?
hallucinate?
And you'd be surprised how many tools you maybe already are using that have AI in the back end,
Yeah.
that is using it. So
And maybe some of the more established players, like I use Creo. We use.
Real time.
You happy with them?
Um,
Oh, next
yes,
question.
happy enough. I'm not
They've
gonna
been having
change.
some changes, I guess, but
Yeah.
they said they're fixing it. We had the CEO on,
Yeah.
and they're a sponsor, so they said they understand the concern. It was like growing pains and stuff.
Yeah.
But point is, like, they're becoming ubiquitous tools, anyways.
Yes. Very
So
true.
I said something yesterday that'll like maybe piss someone off. I didn't go as aggressive as Chris, though. I'll stop it way before. But I said like, you know how like tech vendors, you're perfect because you're a tech vendor primarily, right?
Yeah.
They always say it sounds nice to say symbiotic relationship with sites, but that's really like benefits you more than the site.
That's
And
true.
we have more options as the stuff gets more ubiquitous.
Yep.
It's not symbiotic. If you want to really be aggressive, it's like we should be the parasites on the
Yeah,
tech.
that's right.
But we're getting into Chris territory on this kind of language. So I toned it down and I was like, but think about it. And he's like, well, I disagree with you. And I said, I don't know if I agree or disagree. I'm just saying the paradigm needs to be re-examined.
Yeah.
And I think there's something there because if you rely on one vendor and like they can literally lock you in to their way. And then the switching costs, if you scale with them, they always say sneaky stuff like, we'll want to grow with you as you grow.
Yeah.
But like it sounds cool and like yeah, but if you think about it, like when you grow enough to where you'd rather just pay whatever they charge rather than switch.
Yeah.
You know, who's the symbiotic at them?
Exactly. I mean, to think about changing CTMSs.
Yeah,
is,
nightmare. Even
genuine
we have like small sites.
Yeah.
You have a bigger one than me, but like we're
I
considered
mean,
small sites.
Yeah. I mean, I got onto real time 2 years ago, and it took me a very long time to get all of my subject profiles.
More than a year.
More than a year.
You actually made all that, like the profile. We have to do that on Creo
get to
still.
do it?
Like
I
the
mean,
personas they
We
call
used
it.
AI to populate for
To
us.
help.
We created a
All right, we
bot
gotta
to
talk.
take
Yeah, we
things
gotta
and
talk.
Yeah. Because, I mean, of course, my staff is trying every day to get a chunk of the alphabet done. And they did a lot of it, but it's a lot of time, and that's the most important stuff. You want your database to be searchable by indication and medication so you can have quality FQs. But
What other like
Process.
low hanging fruits were there? Like for you, like another scratch the itch that your husband can fix.
I mean,
Like what's worked well beyond your site to other sites?
That's a good question.
I think the most pull we found is it's interesting when you talk about operational efficiency or this is going to save you time. Doesn't turn someone's head that much, to be honest. Then they think, okay, what's the ROI? That kind of thing. So we've seen more pull in net added type of value. Is it going to give me more studies or is it going to give me more patients?
It's that bottom line that people are.
Yeah. It's like, can I
It's not
increase
always
my?
what I'm most interested in.
Yeah,
Me either. I said this yesterday.
So
I'm not.
we've been
I'm
really
interested in predictability.
right.
That's more important to me than fast growth or
Yeah.
like
Stability. You want to
yeah.
get to that point.
If I can
faster.
do like 20 visits a week the whole year versus let me get like 10 more studies, but I'm only doing like 7, some weeks 20, some weeks 5.
Yes.
I'd rather have 20 a week.
And so like Maya's mindset as an operations like expert is like, how can I make things more efficient? So we have an automated QC tool that will go through your source, lab results, ConMed logs, AE logs, create alerts for you before you put into EDC. Like,
Has
you know,
it been good?
yeah, that's a new one. But again, it's kind of like hit or miss. Some sites, like smaller sites, it may not be as useful. Maybe for the bigger SMOs that have dedicated QC teams and whatnot.
Yeah.
Very add on
But
to that.
where we do see a lot of pull is probably now on the BD side. We've spent the last month scraping LinkedIn for all sponsor leads, and then now we're going to scrape
What?
just the web for studies. So
But how do you sponsored lead? So link, you just find like, let's say Takeda, and you
yeah,
find
we'll just like pretty much type in Takeda on LinkedIn, or the bot will, right? We'll grab all the employees for
I see.
Takeda.
And it knows
will
which ones
then-
are more likely to.
Yeah, by
be
study
involved
too.
in,
So
yeah,
let's
the
say I'll
selection.
search for,
Wow.
a MASH study. I see it, I click it. This is the sponsor. Then the AI is going to present you. Here's the list of point of contacts you should probably go out and reach out
For
to.
LinkedIn.
That's the hardest part. Like the stuff on clinicaltrials.gov is like so old.
Yeah,
No one's ever responded.
It's
to
just
me.
like regulatory. You have to post it.
Yeah.
So they just like treat it like
Yeah.
Trash.
garbage.
That's-
Yeah.
Mike Wegner brought up a good point on the AI panel too. Like,
Mike Wanger is dope.
yeah, he's awesome. And, it's like, where's the busy work that can be automated? This is one of them. Like,
Yeah.
you manually having to find leads or paying a BD
Yeah.
consultant to give you leads. This could be automated with AI. The AI can look at job titles and, site selection specialist, site engagement manager.
Have you used this for?
We have been beta testing it for the
Okay.
past 2 weeks or so.
It's new.
It's new.
Has it worked yet or no?
It's working in progress. So
Yeah.
hopefully, like next month, we'll release it.
You'll be able to see if something.
Next month we'll shoot
This
it out.
stuff's
yeah.
moving fast.
Sorry?
This stuff's moving fast. Like
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny. AI even makes it easier to develop product.
I know.
'Cause-
That's why I think like all this stuff that's out, it's gonna eventually get cheaper and
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're working with a lot of synergy across, like, honestly,
Yeah.
everything.
And the other cool thing is like, it's not just us internally building. Like that project, that BD tool, completely funded by sites.
Yeah.
Pitching in 2,500, 5K. We'd love to have a tool like this. We're like, all right, we'll build it. So like,
so we're at the age of like just like you customize your tools, like sites can request.
exactly.
Yeah.
We want to be a partner. We listen to you. We're your voice, and then we'll just support. So we don't really, we're not VC backed or anything. So we don't
Yeah.
have any ulterior motive. We're bootstrapped.
You don't
like,
need to. You
yeah.
don't need to be.
Yeah.
Wow.
It feels good.
Yeah.
Feels good to help sites in that way. And, like, hear what they're
And like for
wanting.
actual site owner to do it, not because, I mean, it's the perfect situation you want.
Yeah,
Like,
a lot of
you have the
synergy.
site before
I
you
can
played
test
around
it.
with AI.
Yeah, I can test it with my staff, who are very honest, and myself, who's very critical.
Have you heard about this fractional AI coordinator?
No, you were the
Yesterday.
first to,
Me-
First
I
of
heard
hearing
That's
about it.
very interesting.
On this couch, he was sitting right there.
Yeah,
And he was
that's awesome.
explaining it to me. It's like, let me break it down because the lady on stage was just like our operations, but let me explain from the higher up.
From
but
the
it sounds
AI
expensive.
panel?
Yeah. The breakout. The breakout.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, we're gonna check it
gonna
out. Yeah.
I will too. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's slightly expensive. Like he was like, what do you pay a coordinator a month? I was like, 4,000. And I was like, so is it 400 a month? And he's like, no, it's more than that. And I was like, 800? And he's like, no, it's about half. So I'm like, well, but then I'm going to keep my coordinator. It's like I
so
hired
too
a
much.
half of another one.
Yeah.
And what happens when they're not like busy all the time?
Yeah.
Now I have a coordinator not doing anything and an AI not doing like, it works when you're
it's hilarious.
consistent, like back to being predictable.
Yes.
If you can get predictably 20 visits a week, I'll get something like that because it's like autopilot.
Yeah.
But that, to me, that part before that is harder.
I think there's a lot of skepticism too of how well it works as well, and I think it's fair skepticism. We see it as well. So, I think as tech vendors, we need to do more trials and things of that sort as well, versus just your grand a month. Or, tech vendors, we love subscription. Like subscriptions
Yeah.
are favorite
Predictable.
word. Yeah,
Because
it's
it's
predictability.
predictable, that's what we want.
But
Well, what I want.
realistically, sites, I mean, just the budget conversation right now, they're complaining about not even getting paid on time.
Yeah.
Cash flow is always an issue. it's tough to have a subscription model when your sites are your client. So
Yeah.
I think it's important for us to be a little bit more
Sites
clever
don't
and
like to pay
unique.
for stuff.
No, we don't. Anyone else? Please, anyone else pay for this for me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Pass around a tip jar.
Yeah.
I'll get in line for that one. Therapeutic areas again that you guys.
Cardio, respiratory, metabolic disease, a little bit of infectious disease, internal medicine,
Okay.
100%.
Similar to me, just we do psych.
Which
We don't
is,
do. Well, you don't do rheumatology, right?
So you're a rheumatologist?
No, I don't.
Oh.
No.
An intern? How are you doing?
I am like metabolic, basically everything you guys do, but derm and psych. Psych neuro.
How are you finding derm
That's
compared to
not,
metabolic in psych? How
derm.
How are those budgets?
There was a wave of like atopic dermatitis,
Yes, all
which they're all monoclonal antibodies.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like the doctors don't like it that much. They're like, oh, we want something new.
Okay.
But it's interesting when they combine like comorbidities, so like psoriasis with weight loss, because the drugs they actually do like the IP for the psoriasis and then the drug for the weight loss.
Mm-hmm.
So like the patient gets a benefit no matter what, even if the psoriasis is not getting better, they lose the weight. So it's kind of interesting in that regard. But our derm is probably our weakest because our PI that was in Yuma moved back to Orange County.
Oh no.
So we might do a site in Orange County with him because he's interested in doing it. And then we might need to find like a new derm in Yuma or figure out something that makes everyone happy. But yeah, I've been very picky on the derm for good reasons.
Yeah, I hear ya.
Yeah, weight loss is like
Gangbusters.
our thing.
Let's go.
We've been struggling with respiratory, screen failing a lot of people.
Do you pre-screen? Like
Probably
you do
not.
PFT?
No, that's why we're screen failing. Well, like we didn't spend 3 hours a record like you, and
Well, you can use Curie.
I know.
Don't spend those 3 hours.
I have to figure out
either,
what
like-
my pulmonologist has a different EMR. I gotta ask him what they use. But he's like manually going through. Like he still practices, so he's like, when I see someone that fits, like he texts me.
That's
their
wonderful.
info. And that he already kind of did that pre-screening for us. So it's kind of, and then we use Patient Ace with Ronick.
Yeah, Ronek's awesome.
Ronick's dope.
Yeah, he's awesome.
So we've been just kind of trying like pray and spray, but we found that it's a lot of screen fail.
Like PFTs are hard because it's not coded appropriately in the EMR system. You cannot usually search by FEV1. Sometimes I try to get on the PFT machine and search that way, hit or miss, because the quality is still different. Like the research quality your spirotechs are doing is
it just a matter of
better.
luck, do you think? For the, like if you screen enough eventually?
No, I think like the pre-screening for respiratory studies, I feel is important because you got to train them on how to do a PFT. If you're just setting them out the gate, visit one, show me a PFT, they're not going to blast out as long as they need to or give you like that really nice peak that you need.
So it's really training the patient.
Training the patient.
I'm going to show this part to our coordinator.
Yeah.
He's new.
Because we have a generic pre-screening consent form. We PFT everybody, fibroscan everybody, and then...
Who got that one? You got an IRB to approve it?
Yeah. I've been working with Sterling for a really long time. Sterling IRB.
Ah, okay.
So
they're still independent, or they're...
They're independent. I don't think they're being acquired by anything.
Huh, all right. Maybe that's worth doing for the
PFT.
Respiratory stuff.
Yeah, and every once in a while, a sponsor will have like a pre-screening ICF so that you can do that
so
and
they
get
do it
paid.
for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
And get paid.
Please, more of that, because it does impact that screen fill, and then the screen fill ratio and what you get paid.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just think about screen fill ratios and I just get so angry. I don't know what to do.
I do
with that.
too. Well, they got angry too. I don't know if they talked about screen fill. See you, man. He's cool. Hey, he's in your state.
Oh.
North Carolina.
Yeah. I love it.
Raleigh? No,
Raleigh?
Green something.
Oh.
Greensboro?
Greensboro. Yeah, it's like a 2 hour.
Yeah, nearby. Yeah.
There you go. He does just pulmonary and just like IPF. We're going to do a Zoom with him on a 40-minute deep dive on the clinical stuff with my NP who had to leave. Otherwise, I would introduce you guys.
Fun.
Well, that's cool. So what do you think is next for you guys? Like, next wave for both the site and the
maybe you
tech?
talk about your sites first, like.
Do you think
What's
sites are
next?
waiting to be getting saved, or are they just saving themselves?
I don't think any site owner ever really I feel like we're very independent minded. We're very competitive. We don't like to reach out for help either. So I think we'll always save ourselves. But I've never been to a conference like SOS. I
I
have
told you
had
you would like it.
okay, yeah, you sold me, and then I had my doubts, and then I was here, and I was like, But I've
You're like Oklahoma. What the hell?
Oklahoma. No, I've loved it, and the food has been very good.
Yes.
Thank you for that. But the people I've gotten to talk to, like especially young site owners, people who are just starting out, don't even have a study yet, or like people who, just the common challenges of like finding that PI and that right, solid connection and foundation to succeed. It has been really fun for us actually, and we've enjoyed making new connections. New for this sites, I don't know, like probably getting more PIs. That's a big thing I want
Do
to
you
do in
want to do psych, or
2025.
you're still afraid of that?
I'm still anti-psych. I need some more, as we were talking about, maybe some male employees,
Some security guards.
security guards.
It's rare. Like it's less than 10% of the time, but
Yeah, I hear ya.
Yeah.
I hear ya. And then you kind of need the waiting room to be situated in a certain way, you can still handle your
Yeah.
long-term patients.
and the pre-screening for that can weed out way less than 10. It's
That's good.
not as thorough as respiratory, but you
Yeah.
just have a conversation and get a gauge for
Yeah.
who's actually coming in.
I'm trying to actually engage some new physicians. We've been working on physician BD and sending emails out and knocking on doors and trying to get in with ophthalmologists, both sites.
Hey, I
And
talked to an ophthalmologist lady. All she does ophthalmology.
yeah,
Phoenix, LA, San Francisco.
I love it. And the more internal medicines we have, and cardio has been so big this year, so I'd love to get a good cardiologist in Vegas,
Cardio's
started.
picking up.
But yeah, what
That's
about?
good. That's enough goals for 1 year.
Yeah, it's March.
You guys just got married.
I'm trying.
Yeah, I mean, it's also interesting in Maya's panel too. Like, I liked how there wasn't just a build a site to sell it, build a site to sell it kind of conversation. Like talking about the pros of PE and getting acquired. I think it's important to talk about, can you build a site that's like a cash flow business, a lifestyle business?
Oh yeah, you were on that panel
Yeah.
today, right?
Yeah.
Shit, I was here doing podcasts. Was it good?
Yeah, it was really good.
It was good. I mean,
Do you feel like you got everything you needed to, or you still needed to say something?
well, I feel like we tried to prepare with slides.
Who was the moderator? Ashley?
Brad.
Wow, you're on your
We're
own
no
on that.
longer organized. No, I feel like I wish we had started for questions earlier on, because you want to gauge of is this
Yeah,
crowd actually wanting to
yeah.
hear about PE right now, or
Yeah.
the negatives of PE, or do you want to actually hear about organic business growth when you are bootstrapping everything yourself
yeah.
and your coordinator reg
For 10
contract
next year's
budget?
site, yeah.
So I was like, I'm not sure what we all want to hear, but what's good is everyone that approached me after the panel, and I got to have all those conversations. So I'm
That's
really
cool.
happy
That's
about
cool.
that, and everyone was so nice.
Yeah.
But,
On Curie's side, I think we're just going to keep talking to sites and SMOs and building tools for them. So our ultimate vision is to be like a Google Suite or, a Microsoft Office all-in-one package that single sign-on, any touch point of what you need to do as a site. You've got some AI to help you out with it. Again, not to replace, but to help you out with it.
Yeah.
Goal is to hopefully empower more physicians to start, embed it in their practice, like research arms and stuff, because AI is really supporting and helping their staff kick that off as well. So, and then again, for the younger sites and whatnot too, help them get up and running faster. And then for the big boys, just save cost and, make more money. So,
Yeah. Have you made contacts here?
yeah. Oh yeah. And it's great because we can really align on at the site level, share notes on what are you doing for patient recruitment and how you're doing your
Staffing.
ads and across the board. And then
Everything.
we tried this, we tried that, and where we saw AI work, don't try that AI is kind of a waste of time. So
especially advertising, not
Yeah.
inpatient recruitment. And obviously BD and finding studies, you always have to throw everything at it. And I gained a lot from that, honestly, from being here.
That's good. Well, glad you guys were able to come.
Yeah,
I
we
forgot.
loved it.
I made that panel. That was my
Come on,
idea.
Dion.
That was 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liked it.
I forgot you were on it. Yeah, I wanted
It
to
was fun.
see that one. All right, cool. Well, thank you guys for coming
No,
out.
thank you for having
Go
us.
connect. LinkedIn underneath, and they're good. They're good people to get to know now. It's a husband and wife site owner, tech owner.
Yeah.
That might be the first,
Duo.
actually. Actually, that might be the first.
Maybe in this space.
Well, because you're legally married, you both own the
That's
other
right,
thing.
yeah.
So
That's right.
I don't think there's ever been husband and wife, site owner and tech company owner in the same.
Yeah, that's right. Because I got my fingers in the site level too. So I'm like,
You might be a
getting
one
wet.
of one.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
2 of 2.
2 of 2.
Maybe.
Cute.
Maybe. Awesome.
Like, subscribe, comment, share. Bye bye. Hey, if you guys like that kind of content, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. Stay tuned for more videos.